Yo, what's up guys, it's Jack and welcome back to another video. And over the last few videos I've been talking about how Call of Duty needs a change, but I can't tell you exactly what that change is. It's like we can't really figure out what that change is. And well, I still can't, but one thing that they could definitely start with is the beta. Every single time, and I know that I'm always so super duper early talking about these subjects, especially since we're so far away from a beta. Now there's a couple things we know about the beta for CoD 2018, or just CoD in general. Okay, we know that a beta will happen because it has been happening for the last few years, so that's pretty much a given. They're going to stay with that formula. We know that the beta is going to be around August, and we also know that the beta is going to last for roughly the better part of a week for PlayStation, and then another better part of a week for Xbox. And you know, they need to change. They need to change a little something for the beta because we have the most popular console game. Okay, every year it's the most popular console game. It's the most financially successful, but yet our betas are so damn short. I mean, the developers work their asses off to give us a beta, but yet the beta doesn't last long enough. I mean, we have other games like Star Wars, for instance, that get a beta, and that thing lasts for like, I don't know, the better part of a month, I think it is, or something along those lines. So, I mean, if they can, if people like that can give us a beta that lasts for that long, I mean, there's absolutely no excuse for Call of Duty to not give us a, to not give us a beta for at least that long. You know, there's so much data. Obviously, I know that they're recording data, and I know they were trying to get as much information as possible to make the game as smooth as possible for launch. But I think extending the data, I think it's not only going to make fans happy to get their hands on the game a little bit more and learn a little bit more, but at the same time, it gives the developers more feedback. The more feedback, the better. The better your game is going to be at launch, the longer the beta lasts, because you're going to be able to get more consistent data. And that's something that's extremely important. I mean, really, it's extremely important. It's what can make or break a game. So, and they started implementing the beta back in what, Black Ops 3, I think it was. So, and I think they need to take it a step ahead of time. I mean, usually they'll extend the day by one day or whatnot. They'll probably do it again this year, but again, that's not enough. And I'm not necessarily saying because I don't want to be sounding selfish, like, oh, I want more. I mean, yes, I mean I do. As a Call of Duty fan that I am, that mostly, for the most part, supports the game in terms of wanting it to do well and using it on the channel and streaming and all that. Yes, but there are definitely a lot of things that need to be changed, and I think the beta it would be a hell of a start. I mean, it really would be a hell of a start, and it's something that I think a lot of fans and some other YouTubers as well, way bigger than me, way more popular, that have way more say than I do. I think they can all agree that the beta just doesn't last long enough. Now, I'm grateful to get a beta, but let's be honest here. We really shouldn't be grateful to get a beta. Beta is something that should have been happening for a long ass time now, for a long time, way before it even happened. And as a matter of fact, I don't think that they even had any pressure to put a beta out until the Call of Duty community themselves started talking about it before it happened. Everybody started talking about how Call of Duty needs a beta. And then once that started escalating, then we finally got one. And it's a shame that things have to get to that point for a beta to happen, because I'm sure the developers know it. Activision, even though they only give a shit about their pockets, I think it's pretty much a given that they should know as well, because if it has anything linked to doing to their pockets, whether it's going to be them spending money or them making money, I'm sure that they're well aware of it. So again. Obviously, the biggest dream in the world would be to for Call of Duty just to be an indie developer, right? Like some of these other games that have so much passion and love towards their games. But that's a dream that's a little bit too far out of reach, unfortunately. But the thing is, we can definitely afford to have a beta out for a much longer time and to get further feedback and to make the game that much better, because also the launch of a brand new Call of Duty, that first week launch is just such a crucial time period to get more and more people involved, and for the word of mouth to spread so fast, because the word of mouth ultimately is what's going to make the success in this. So, and the beta is something that can definitely be a good start and get them way ahead, so that way sales could be even better, the quality of the game will be even better. if Call of Duty succeeds financially, I'm very happy for it as long as the game is good. If the game is absolute trash and they make a ton of money out of it, whether it's because of supply drops or false hype or whatnot, then that's something that's questionable, and that's something that I definitely don't support. But if the game is good, it deserves to be supported. And one other thing is that there's actually been times where games have been really, really good, but they haven't gotten support. And the same thing happens with movies all the time as well. There are games out there and even movies that have gotten that are really, really good, but they just didn't have the hype or the support, and they just never got the financial backing, and then all of a sudden it just had to stop, and that's a shame. And what's also a shame is the other side of that, the vice versa, which is a game to be not worth the hype, and then yet to succeed financially so much. So, but that's just my opinion. I wanted to give my 2 cents on that, but in closing of this commentary, as I'm getting close to the end here, one of the things that that'll definitely help push us in the right direction is for the beta to get more extended time, and for us to get our hands on it, and not just to dissect it. I'm not just talking about necessarily that just so we can get to know the game better. No, I'm just talking from a simple fixes, things that are going to need to get fixed, communication back and forth between developers and the community, all that kind of good stuff, because that's what betas are for ultimately. It's like, okay, here's our game, here's our product, this is what we've been doing, tell us your feedback, instead of just playing it and then we're gonna go off of our data, because it's, you know, this potentially could be the best community ever. I mean, and we're not necessarily talking about numbers, because right now Call of Duty is not the best community ever, and it's got nothing to do with the fact that it gets financially successful every year. That's not it. That's not what's going to make the best community. What's going to make the best community is when everybody just gets together, gives feedback and constructive criticism, and learns to respect one another, and at the same time succeeds in the communication factor. Because the data alone, or the data, or however you want to pronounce it, that in and of itself, in my opinion, isn't enough. Because when you release the game out there into the wild, there's a whole bunch of things that can happen, and when things like lag and all that other stuff get put into play, you know, the data numbers might show this, but what might actually be going on in terms of what everybody's feeling when they play the game might be a little bit different. The numbers might say one thing, but at the same time, the experience and how everything feels may be another. So anyway, guys, that's all I wanted to say on this one. Let me know down in the comment section. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Or does it not make a difference to you guys? So, and as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I ripped the gameplay from, this was from the stream that I had. I think it was, yesterday or the day before. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I could do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.